Okay, good morning. Today we're going to be talking about another fable, and I'm going to read it to you actually. And as I'm reading it to you, I want you to be able, when we finish, to identify who the characters are, where the setting is. Also, I want you to be thinking about what's happening in the beginning, what's happening in the middle, and then how the events in the story contribute to the ending, the conclusion. And at the end, I want you to think about all the events when everything comes together to help determine the moral or the lesson of the story. Now, this is a fable from Aesop, and it's called The Ant and the Grasshopper. So I'm going to read you the story. Now, if I'm going to show you the picture, and it doesn't tell you where it's taking place, but just by looking at the picture, you're going to have to infer, or you're going to have to just determine just by from the photo or the illustration that this is taking place. I see tall grass, I see flowers, I see some creatures and mushrooms. I see actually looks like two different characters. And by the title, this is the grasshopper and the ant, or sometimes it's called the ant and the grasshopper. Just from the title of the story, I can infer that two of the characters in the story could be an ant and a grasshopper. And by looking at all of these things, I'm also inferring that it's taking place outside, maybe in a grassy area, maybe in the woods. So I want you just to listen and let's see how this story unfolds. Remember, this is a fable. The grasshopper fiddled the whole summer long. He filled the green fields with his bright, silly song. The ants, on the other hand, worked up a sweat, putting away all the goods they could get. When winter time came, the poor grasshopper was famished, for all of his food had entirely vanished. "Please feed me," he begged, "or alas, I will die." "Go lunch on your fiddle," the ants did reply. So in the story, think about how the events, or think about how what the first character did at the beginning. The very first line says the grasshopper fiddled. So we have the grasshopper doing something at the beginning, and then what is the ants doing as the grasshopper is fiddling? A fiddle is like a violin. It's another name for a violin, if you don't know that. So think how the story evolves and how in one section or one part, remember, fables are short. So I want you to think about how the beginning and the middle and at the end, when that grasshopper, it's wintertime, the seasons change, he doesn't have anything to eat. And remember what he was doing all summer long.